My entire life, I struggled with value and self-esteem, and a lot of the things that I did in my life were to impress my peers, and I spent my entire life trying to win over people. I was 15 whenever I first experimented with alcohol and drugs. A friend of mine had brought some alcohol to school and pretty much dared me to drink it, and I remember when I drank it, it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's like something clicked in my head, you know? Like, I had that rush of that good feeling, and like I was just sold from there. I think that's when I became a full-blown addict. I started drinking vodka and taking pain pills, and it really just went all downhill from there. I was in a toxic relationship, and there was some infidelity there, and I think once that happened, my abuse skyrocketed, and I was taking morphine and OxyContin and huffing and taking other street drugs. When I was 18, it was the summer after graduation, and I was living out of someone else's apartment, and my parents and some close friends of mine had an intervention, and I ended up going to rehab. After that 30-day span, a week after I got out, I got arrested for DWI, and 2 days later I got kicked out of my parents' house. And at that point I moved in with my then girlfriend, and her whole family were drug dealers. So that really just amplified my drug addiction at that point. I hit rock bottom a few times. The last time I was living out of a motel with prostitutes. I had been awake for 7 days. I had one hamburger that 7-day span, and my parents cut me off completely. My employers had fired me. None of my childhood friends would talk to me. I was pretty much just living that horrible drug addict lifestyle. And Mackenzie called me, and she wanted me to come visit her in Houston. And I kept saying, no, I'm not gonna do that. You know, I'm busy, which I wasn't busy, but she ended up picking me up and taking me to her apartment, and called one of her friends, Shay. He came over there. He had a testimony where he had recovered from IV drugs also. And I remember he kneeled beside me and had me kneel with him, and we prayed the sinner's prayer. And then I didn't know him from Adam, and he took me in and let me move in with him and his wife for a week. I didn't need a mentor as much as I needed a savior. And so I went from being insecure and broken to being loved and knowing how to love. I attended CR at the Met for a while, and there was a lot of really awesome people there, and the program seemed to really be changing lives. And I think at the time I was a part of CR here at the Met, I was still struggling with transparency and dealing with being completely open and honest. You know, I joined CR, and I turned it into a way of elevating my position, and you know, here's this super cool story, and I wasn't really being real about it. I was using Kratom, not really willing to stop using Kratom, not willing to be transparent about my use, and you know, I ended up kind of parting ways with CR, but I ended up joining a life group at the Met, and through that life group and through the relationships that we were able to build through that life group, I started to become more comfortable with the idea of being transparent and sharing, airing my dirty laundry, you know, to be loved through it instead of trying to conceal it because of fear of rejection, you know. So God is teaching me to grow in my relationships with people. Right now I'm in a season where I need to just kind of have relationship with others. I think he's teaching me the value of fellowship and brotherhood and community. And so right now I'm just in a season of saying yes, and I think with just everything that's happened with the Met, you know, it seems like everything's just kind of falling into place. And you know, the Met is starting a new ministry, Regeneration, and I have had the honor of being asked to be a part of that, you know? And it's so amazing to me that this is an opportunity for me to be a part of a ministry where people like me, you know, are going to come looking for answers and for truth. And, you know, I want them to find Jesus here. I know they'll find Jesus here. And I want to do everything I can so that they see Jesus in me. And so I just want to love on people, man, you know? I really just want to love on people.